Hey, everybody. I am very excited to have Jeff Summerlin with us today. And he is the president and founder of the East Mississippi Veterans Foundation. So they are leading the effort to build a memorial park in Meridian, Mississippi to help bring honor, recognition, and remembrance to those men and women, past and present and future, um, who have fought in our U.S. Armed Forces. So, Jeff, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be with you.
So, tell us a little bit about your affiliation with the military, and then we would love to hear about how this project got started.
Okay, my affiliation with the military, I joined the Mississippi Air National Guard out of prior to graduating high school when I was 17 years old. My parents had to sign for me to join, and it was at the Meridian Air Guard unit at Key Field. And I served in the Air National Guard and Active Air Force for a total of 27 years. Wow. And retired back in 2007. I started out doing photo processing in photo labs. That's when Meridian had the RF-4C Phantom II aircraft, the type that we have on display now in our park. And then I transitioned over into air traffic control duties, and I finished my career with that, which led into my civilian career with the Federal Aviation Administration as an air traffic controller. So yes, 27 years active and reserve or Air National Guard time in the military. Retired as a E8 senior master sergeant.
Oh, well, thank you for your service. That sounds like a very interesting career back, doing film, which, I mean, my kids don't even know what film cameras are anymore. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes and history, and it's great that you're working hard to preserve that. So thank you.
Right. And I served in Hungary and Iraq and Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia. So seen a few deployments.
Yeah, that sounds like a rich history. So I'd love to hear how Meridian is gathering all that history and turning it into this memorial park. Can you give us a history about the park itself and kind of where you see it going?
Right. So Meridian has been a long time military community. It was the first city in the state of Mississippi to have a National Guard unit as far as a flying unit established back in September 1939. So the Air National Guard unit has been in the Meridian community for over 83 years. And then in 1961, the Naval Air Station at Meridian was established and has been ongoing since. So we have also we have an Army National Guard unit at Key Field as well. So we have a fairly large military population in Meridian, and with the Navy base and the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard. Plus, I think the Navy has some reserve units at the Navy base as well. So we have a large community connected to the military. When you factor in, on a given drill weekend, there's probably anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 people serving that weekend, and then you got an active group at the Navy base, and you factor in the size of families and little other demographic type things. You're looking at probably and veterans that live in the community, you're probably looking at close to maybe 14, 15,000 people in the Meridian, East Mississippi area that has some kind of connection to the military. So we are a military community, and based on that, what inspired me to get this project started was I'm a huge fan of the F-4 Phantom. At one time, I wanted to fly that jet, but for other reasons, it didn't happen. But still, that's an iconic aircraft. I've always loved it. You know, like if you went to see the movie Top Gun, at that time, people probably thought the F-14 Tomcat was their favorite aircraft. Well, the F-4 has been mine ever since it's been around. But I saw 3 other communities here in the United States, Grove, Oklahoma being one, Lena, Illinois, and then Alamogordo, New Mexico. We're getting surplus Phantoms from the government to create memorials in their communities. And I got to thinking, well, why can't Meridian do this? We're a military community, and I wanted to start something that would be there to honor all our service members and veterans and their families in the Meridian community. So I started digging and asking questions, and got in touch with the folks that did the project in Grove, Oklahoma. They kind of, steered me in the right direction. But I was seeking one particular type of F-4 Phantom, which was the reconnaissance version, because that's what our unit flew from 1979 until about 1992.
Okay.
And I kept track of the inventory of Phantoms that are parked in the Boneyard in Arizona. And I discovered there were 3 airframes still in that Boneyard that the actual unit at Keyfield flew.
That's awesome.
And so I was able to make, I guess, the right calls, right contacts, and I was able to get an actual airframe that the unit at Keyfield flew for 11 years. And the General Services Administration is how I got it, and they designated that aircraft with the help of the city of Meridian for my Veterans Park that I created. And we just recently had it moved to the park and put up after waiting almost 4 years, dealing with, of course, raising the money to move it. And then, of course, we had the pandemic that hit us during this time. And then I had a little bit of a logistical issue with a mover to get the plane moved. But this past June, we finally got it moved, and the community is pretty excited about it being there.
Yeah, so you guys had to move it from the Boneyard all the way over to Mississippi?
Yes, we moved it from the Boneyard in Tucson, Arizona to Meridian, Mississippi. It was done by Worldwide Aircraft Recovery. They had to retrieve the aircraft from the Boneyard and take it over they used the facilities at Pima Air and Space Museum to disassemble the aircraft. And it was placed on 2 semi trucks and then trucked from Tucson to Meridian. When it got back to Meridian, it was reassembled, and then we had a crane company, Glenn Machine Works, who offered their services, and we had the services of Slay Steel Magnolia Steel and Johnson Pools to get our pedestal done. And this crane company lifted it up onto its new perch, made its final flight from the ground up to its perch, and now it's displayed. And it just recently got restored by Punsford Limited out of Georgia, and it turned out really great.
That is
very proud of it.
Yeah, you never think about the logistics that it takes to move an aircraft that's no longer flying from one side of the country to the other. So did you get to visit the Boneyard?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to fly out. We actually moved. Well, the plane was actually picked up on June 6th, which is D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I flew out the Saturday prior and then met up with Marty and worldwide team, and was actually able to be on site in the Boneyard to watch them lift it, place it on his truck, and then we trucked it off the property to the museum. And I was actually able to be there to observe it all. I thought about riding all the way back across the United States with it, but then I decided I could just wait in Mississippi for it to show up. And so, yeah. And then we had a big celebration on its return, homecoming in Meridian. So that was pretty cool too.
That's amazing. So for people that don't know what the Boneyard is, can you explain a little bit about that experience? Because that in itself must have been just once in a lifetime.
Right. So they call it's the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group, and they're located at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Arizona, and they call it the Boneyard. When the military is done with an aircraft, they retire it, and they fly it to the Boneyard in Arizona, and this is where they are stored for whatever reason. Like the F-4s have been out the Boneyard. Our particular one's been out there for over 30 years, but it's there. Those F-4s were kept to, I guess, help support other nations who still operate those planes. But yeah, when the military retires their aircraft, they don't need them no more. They put them in storage at the Boneyard and keep them, I guess, in condition enough in case they need to recall something, and they can bring that aircraft back to life and use it. But yeah, all military planes, when they die, so to speak, they get to go to the Boneyard, and it's because of the conditions there in the dry desert environment of Arizona that they're pretty well preserved, because like the RF-4C Phantom II that we got, it served probably actively for, I don't know, built in 1967 until it was retired in 1991, and then it sat in the Boneyard from 91 till we retrieved it. So it was in great condition. So it's a great, it's where they store the planes to keep them. So, but it's an interesting place because there's probably over 5,000 airplanes parked out there, from small ones to big ones to fighter jets, bombers, transport planes, helicopters. The Navy parks planes out there, the Air Force, Marine Corps, and Army does some, I think. I wanted to get this Veterans Park going in Meridian because of the community being a large military community. We don't have anything like this type of venue, and we hope to build it in phases. Like I say, right now we just recently put the F4 Phantom there, and we're going to have a dedication ceremony come September the 27th at 10 a.m. to dedicate the static display area and kind of do a ribbon cutting for the park, so to speak. And we're going to take it in phases. The next part will be our wall of remembrance, where we will honor our service members and veterans with plaques on that wall. And then we hope to do two of the additional areas in the park, one being the Armed Forces Plaza, and then a what I call a Freedom Walkway through 12 monoliths that displays American history or military history from the Revolutionary War until the current conditions. So hopefully we can, it's about a $400,000 project that we're doing, and hopefully we will be able to get it done here over the course of time.
Okay, Jeff. Well, thanks for joining us, and I'm sorry that I have some storm overhead messing with my internet, but we will drop a link to so you guys can see a picture of the jet and the park that Jeff is working on. And if you guys are able to go and support this park, so you guys can honor those who have served and hopefully inspire those in the future to serve. It's always great to take those kids out around the first of the school year, as they are saying what they want to be when they grow up. And a lot of the signs that I'm seeing my friends post, are STEM related: pilots, engineers, architects, project management type kind of things as well. So let's take kids out so that they can realize their dreams and understand the part that our communities play in the military history, with Meridian having played a part for 80 years, and I know you guys don't see that going away anytime soon, with the strong commitment you guys have to those who have served our country.
Well, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here for your program. Thanks.